Hey guys, what's up? King AJ here. I figured I'd come at you guys with a video of what my settings are, because I know a lot of people are struggling or stuck about what good settings are or what's the best or most optimal settings are. So we'll jump right into this and I'll do some explaining of why I have certain things set as such, but let's just jump right into it. Alright, so for controls, I don't have invert look on. It doesn't really work with me, or doesn't. I play better without it. I'll just leave it at that. Yes, sensitivity is pretty low. I know a lot of people like to have sensitivity high for looking, peeking corners and everything, but I like to keep it low. It keeps it better for accuracy. You can land more shots for me personally. This is pretty much all pretty standard. Let's go to schemes. So I have Soldier Sticks alternate, so it has your right analog, whatever console you're playing on, PS4, Xbox. I have that as the crouch button, and I've switched the melee button to circle. It makes it more optimal. This is pretty much standard. I have, for uniform soldier aiming, I have that on. I don't know if that's standard or not. This is all basic. I don't think I've ever changed this or anything. Vibration is off. I originally did play with it on because I thought it helped me control recoil, but or at least get a feel for it, but I realized that it's better to have it off. Helps you win gunfights. It's a very minute difference I've noticed, but it's definitely a beneficial one. For the L2 R2, I have the dead zone turned all the way down, and the purpose of this is you get the higher ADS speed, because it's not higher ADS speed. Let me correct myself. It's the amount of pressure you put on a button before it activates. So L2 turning it all the way down, you don't have to have that much pressure, and then you're ADSing. So it does make a huge difference when it comes to that. But that's pretty much all it is here. Let's go to gameplay. I have everything basically on. The kill log, I have both to show the name and the icon. I know some people just have one or the other. This is all personal preference when it comes to crosshair color and damaged colors and all that good stuff. Minimap. So minimap size, I have it on 120. I think this is perfect. It's large enough to show you everything, but it's not too big to control your screen. I'm still playing with on-foot zoom radius. As of right now, this is base. And what this kind of does is the larger you get, the smaller your minimap gets, but there's percent, I know in BF1 it made it easier to see the buildings and stuff, so you actually, like, if an enemy popped up on the minimap, you knew exactly where they were. So if you're like outside a building, you could see if they were in the building or on the other side. It's a pretty cool feature. Like I said, I'm still playing with it, but I'll get back to you guys on that in a later time. This is all basic and standard. Camera shake I have all the way off. Aim assist I have turned on 70 as of right now. I'm still playing with it. I know people like to go as low as like 50, 60. Where I've seen 70 might be perfect. I was playing on 75 a little bit, but I did have an instance where it was noticeable and it did end up getting me into a sticky situation in a game. But as of right now, I do like it on 70. This is all pretty standard. Let's go on to audio. So audio, everything's pretty standard. The only thing I think I have changed here is the sound preset. So war tapes, I don't really experiment with any of the others, but I've always found that war tapes is the best. You got that clear sound. You can definitely hear footsteps pretty well. This is, I believe, more of a personal preference, but like I said, I typically go war tape, so that's all up to you. Let's go to video. Brightness I have on 70. Field of view is on 74. Now I think this setting, or where field of view is right now, is perfect, because it's not something that, so my thing is, I'm a big ADS guy. You'll see in my videos, I don't hip fire a lot. ADS is pretty much my one and only rule, is almost ADS all the time, because I struggle with hip fire. This field of view, it helps with hip fire because the crosshairs get smaller. But this is perfect for an ADS player. It's not, because when I first changed it, it was too much. It was like you couldn't ADS, and it just felt really weird, and it made me very like out of my comfort zone when I was playing. But this setting is perfect. It's not too overwhelming, and I think it's absolutely perfect. Vehicle, third person, I have that turned all the way up, so that way you can see as much as you can if someone's running you up on dynamite or whatever, you know, you can see them coming. ADS field of view. So this is a big one that I've played with on and off. I've found that if you're running anything of a high field of view, you definitely want this on. Or you may just want it on in general. So the difference is field of view for the ADS field of view. If you have it on, you don't zoom in as much. And this is a visual thing. So because it doesn't zoom in as much, you don't get that. It's a very minute thing, but you basically have less recoil, because which most know that if you're using a higher zoomed sight, say if you're using an iron sight compared to a 3x scope on a AR, for example, if you use a 1.5 zoom, which is the iron sight, you have less recoil than the 3x zoom scope. And with this ADS field of view, if you have it on, that 3x will be more controllable as well as the iron sight. So if you're having trouble controlling recoil, I'd suggest turning the ADS field of view on. That's another thing with field of view. The higher you have it, if I remember this correctly, the higher you have it, the less recoil you have. But the more higher you have it, the harder time you have seeing enemies at farther ranges. So like I said, I think 74 is perfect, and I definitely would suggest ADS field of view on. So for everything else, I have motion blurred 0, chromatic aberration film grain vignette, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, and lens distortion, I have that all off. But all in all, yeah, that's basically it for the settings. I hope you guys enjoyed, and on that, I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.